Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Sari if you are new to my channel, and this is my knitting podcast, already the 5th episode. Here I'm sitting and knitting this hat that I showed you in my last episode number 4, and this was the top-down hat that I was working on. And as you can see, I have already made some progress with it. It doesn't look like pot holder anymore. It's starting actually to look like a hat. So in this episode I'm going to be talking about some of my whips, that is works in process, as well as 2 finished objects, and my upcoming trip to Berlin. I'm leaving for Berlin on Wednesday, so I'm going to be talking a bit about that. I can start with this hat, as I already showed it to you and mentioned it, and you can see me working on it. The yarn was Kässäkerho Pom Pom, a Finnish dyer, and this is their merino single base. The colorway was called Kurtturuusu, which is a Finnish name for a Japanese rose or beach rose, and it actually, I think it looks like as if you have crushed roses on top of this yarn. It has little yellow spots that would come from roses as well, and I'm really into this color. It's so delicious, I would say, and this is a nice project to knit. As you can see, it just I have now finished all the increases. So I started here at the top and then did increases to get to the final stitch count, which I have now reached. So it's just knitting, some ribbing, 2 knit stitches, and then 2 purl stitches in a round. So I don't really have to look at it while I'm working on it. However, I'm the kind of person who's like, when I sit, I knit. So I just can't like sit and do nothing. I always have to have something to do with my hands. So this is the perfect mindless project like that. I've been taking this with me to the playground when I have been there with my son. It's a nice small project, easily portable, so it's very easy to take with me wherever I go, into my handbag, and then work a stitch or 2 or a couple of rounds while I'm waiting. This morning we went to the playground. It's been very nice and sunny, so we went and I got a takeaway coffee, and my son got a little orange juice. So we went to the park and sat there, and then he went to the swings and sandbox, and I stayed sitting at the side and watching him play and working on this hat. So these are the kind of days I've been longing for during the winter, and I'm really enjoying that the weather is nice again, so that we can spend more time outside and I can knit outside. It does have a different charm than just like sitting inside, even though if it would be sitting in a cafe, but listening to birds sing and sun is shining, I love it. Who doesn't? So my hat is already long enough, so I can try it on. Just let me show you. My needles are a bit too short to comfortably try this on, but it looks like this. So there's still some way to go until it's long enough to cover my ears, and then I want a folded brim, so a bit more to do, but I'm in no hurry. And as I said, this is my portable meditative project, so I'm not rushing it, but you can see the color, it's delicious. I'm so into this color, even though I usually prefer natural shades and undyed wool and greys and whites, but every now and then I really like working with color, and this hot pink is just perfect, I think. Other things I've been working on, if you have been following me on Instagram, you have seen me knitting a pullover for my son. It's actually it's a project that I started already before Christmas, so it's nothing new. And I had these really big plans that I would have finished it by Christmas, and it would have been a Christmas present to my son, but it took me about half a year after Christmas to finally finish the whole thing, so maybe I'll save it for next Christmas. No, I won't. He can use it already. I was working on the pattern Atlas, which is from Brooklyn Tweed, from their kids collection, and I'll show it to you. It's over here. I made some modifications to this. First of all, the original Atlas pullover is knitted in Brooklyn Tweed Loft, which is a fingering weight yarn, and I used DK for this. I also went down in needle size to compensate the heavier yarn, and another thing, I went down in the size as well, so I knitted the size for a 2-year-old, aiming for the 3 to 4-year-old size, and the measurements are really good. It's actually even a bit too big for my son, who is turning 3 in August. So here it is. I wanted it to be a bit thicker than fingering weight. Here in Finland, I think we need more these heavier pullovers than fingering weight ones. So this is actually the first time I have been knitting an Icelandic yoke. So this is it, and I really like it, and I really like the colors I have for this sweater. So I've been thinking about knitting the adult size of the pattern, the Atlas pattern, for myself, and maybe using the same colors or at least similar colors. This is not the original color scheme I chose for this sweater. It was supposed to be the gray with these two colors. So this very dark purple, almost like bluish purple, and then this like lavender, dark lavender purple, light purple as well. These are both from Drops Design, Drops Charisma, which I think is a very nice yarn for the knits for kids. I myself, I can knit sweaters with expensive yarn for myself, but I don't really see the point of using very expensive yarn for the kids, because they grow so fast and the time they have to use the sweater is quite short. So I think Drops Charisma is a very nice and durable sturdy yarn for kids' clothes and garments, and also it's superwash, so you can machine wash the knits very nicely because they tend to get quite messy. But for this one, the greens that I have here in the yoke, they are from Icelandic, and this was also my first time using Letlopi. For some reason, even though I like those purple yarns, they weren't so inspiring for me, and I had knitted the whole body and also the first sleeve and the second sleeve somewhere up here, so I had something like 5 centimeters left of the second sleeve, but I wasn't inspired by this project at all, and I don't know, I just didn't want to pick it up. And then I went to my local yarn store on some other business, and I saw these Letlopi colors, and I immediately knew that they would be perfect for my pullover. So I changed my mind and changed the project and decided to make a grey and green sweater instead of grey and purple. And immediately after I chose or bought the new yarns, it took me maybe 4 days after that to finish the whole sweater. So sometimes you just have to go with your gut feeling. If you feel like there's something wrong about the project, you just have to change it. You have to follow your instincts, and I think my instincts with this one were good. I really like these colors, like I said, and they would look very good on me too, I think. So maybe I will copy this for myself. This sweater has quite nice design. There's first short rows here on the body before joining the sleeves, a couple of short rows to make the back longer. Then after joining the sleeves there are some more short rows. So as you can see, this is much shorter than this. It's on the back side. So it makes the back a bit longer, and also the last short rows are here at the neck before the ribbing. This was my first time knitting an Icelandic yoke, so as I said before, and also my first time knitting anything with 3 colors at the same time. I have been knitting quite a lot of Fair Isle and stranded knitting, but always with just 2 colors at once. I have knitted things that have multiple colors, but holding just 2 colors at one point. And here at a couple of rows you have to have 3 colors at the same time. First I thought that I would make duplicate stitches later, like here, these grey dots, but then I thought that this is the perfect opportunity for me to learn something new. So here's a new skill that I now master, but I can do anyway. And this is the sweater. As I said, it's a bit big for my son, but he will grow into it, so next winter I think this will be the perfect size for him. And I like knitting kids' clothes so that they are a bit too big, so you can use them longer, and I don't think there's point to spend a lot of time knitting something that is immediately too small, as the kids grow quite quickly. However, at this moment my son says this sweater is yuck, like everything I make for him, but I'm hoping by next winter he has changed his mind and he will like wearing it. So this is what I have been doing. Also in the last episode I showed you this little clutch or pouch, little bag. It wasn't finished then. I told you I was going to sew a zipper, so I have now added a zipper and also this black linen lining. And every time I decide I'm starting to sew something, I always think I'm really good at it. For some reason I always have this false idea that I can do anything. And when I'm at the sewing machine, then there's a plenitude of swear words and ripping and deciding once again that this is not something I want to do. And then a couple of days go by and I start imagining a totally handmade wardrobe with all kinds of trench coats and jeans and other cool clothes with all the really nice fabric I have seen online. And I start imagining myself sewing again. Like now Karen Templar is going to have her Summer of Basics make-along once again. Last year I was going to make something other than knitted, but I didn't. All my 3 projects were knitted ones, but this year maybe a willow tank or something beginner, easy. That's my plan for it. However, so this is finished and there's a zipper, there's lining, and then there's this little leather, or this is vegan leather, it's not real leather, leather strap. And I'm going to write the pattern. I have to figure out how I write the instructions for the lining, as I said that I'm not a seamstress, but maybe I will figure out how to write the pattern for it as well. So this is now ready and I've been using it quite a lot already and I really like it. What else? Kiuru hat. I have shown it to you here already a couple of times, and the pattern is now ready and it has been test knitted, and you can find the pattern on Ravelry. I hope you like it. And for the first week the pattern will be on a little discount, so go and pick your copy. And also, if you are buying the Kiuru pullover pattern at the same time, you will get this hat for nothing. It's almost free if you buy those 2 at the same time, so you have to have them in your shopping cart at the same time to get the discount. But go and get your copy. I'm really happy about this hat, and the color is amazing. It's like this bright eggplant purple. So I'm going to talk about a new hat project that I don't yet have on my needles, but what I've been designing, and it is another collaboration with Annabelle Williams. You remember Annabelle from my first episode and the Artemis socks, so it's the same yarn, indie yarn dyer, and she uses only natural dyes for her yarn, and she has new organic Falkland Merino DK weight base that she wanted me to design a pattern for, and the pattern will be available via her newsletter once I'm done with it. And when we started to talk about this, I had a pretty good idea in my mind of what I wanted to do, so we landed on me designing a hat for her, and I had been playing around with an idea with slip stitches, and then I told her that I could do a couple of swatches and send her, and she could pick what she likes. But then when she said that, oh, I trust you, you can do whatever you like, I froze totally. It's a different thing to make a submission where the person who's commissioning your work can decide whether she likes your work or not. But when somebody tells you that you can do whatever you want, then it's a bit different. The pressure is different. You have to be able to do something that they will like, and so everything I had in my mind in the beginning, I started to doubt myself, and this has probably been the hardest thing for me to decide. Like I said, it's a different thing to make a submission when the other person can reject your idea if that's not something they like. But if they tell you you can do whatever you want, there's a pressure to please them that is totally different from submitting your work. So this is the yarn she sent me. It is gorgeous yellow. It's at the same time it's bright, but it's also muted, and it's really soft, and the stitch definition is really nice. It's gorgeous yarn. This is a 100-gram skein, and like I said, it's organic merino. And I have made this little swatch that yesterday I sent a photo of it to Annabelle, and to my pleasure, to my joy, she liked the design, so we are going forward with this. So the hat is going to have a ribbed brim that is folded double. I like it that way. And then there are a couple of bubbles here at the bottom that turn into columns of slip stitches, and in the middle there is this wide and fat cable. So this is going to be the base for the hat design that I'm going to be working on. This is a project that I'm going to take with me to Berlin. Next Wednesday I'm going there for a holiday for 3 days. My sister lives in Berlin, so I'm going to go there and visit her, and also, well, actually at first I was going to use this time to see all the museums, because we are not taking our son with us. I'm going with my husband, just the two of us, and so we thought that maybe this time we can actually see the museums, but they have forecasted really nice summery weather with sunshine and something like plus 27 Celsius degrees. So I would be kidding if I said that we are going to be very cultural and go to museums and see the sights. I think for the 3 days we are probably just going to rent bikes and see the city on the bike, see the buildings, see the park, sit in cafes, drink coffee, drink beer, eat ice cream, knit, just relax. So I think it's going to be wonderful. And this hat project is going to be traveling with me. I like hat projects for trips. They fit in the handbag and are easily portable. Also, this one is coming with me, so I think these two are my traveling projects. I don't think I will take any sweaters with me, sweaty projects, as they are so large to carry around. So this will be my travel knitting for next week. I'm also going to visit a couple of yarn stores. On my previous visits to Berlin, I've been to Insel as well as to Berlin, and I'm going to go to both of those again. And also the Yarn Over Berlin has opened their store after my last visit, so I will definitely be visiting them as well. And I have already asked permission from Berlin and Yarn Over Berlin if I'm allowed to film a little inside their stores. So for the next episode, I was thinking about doing a little travel journey of my stay in Berlin and show you around what I've been doing there and where I have been knitting, and also show you the yarn stores, so if you happen to go to Berlin, you know what to expect. I think this is all for now, and I hope you have enjoyed watching this episode. And next time I will be talking about my trip to Berlin. If you want to see some behind the scenes action and sneak peeks to my trip, you can always follow me on Instagram. I wrote my Instagram handle down there, so you can check it out if you're not already following me. I will probably be posting quite a lot on Insta stories, so you can see that feature for the sneak peeks. I hope you're having a lovely day and see you soon again.